been talking with passion. Scribble some lines and let them all see the attraction. I'm a daydreamer, I be proud of myself and what them niggas call a distraction. When my plate green, I'ma get me an AC to go make this shit happen. Ain't no gatekeeper, I'ma go on before, I'ma show them I ain't never capping.
How's the balance of high school and musical going?
I mean, right now it's the West because exams and ways to like in these coming weeks. So I've got to lock in a little bit now, but like after it should be fine.
So right here, right now, you should probably be doing...
Yeah, I should be at home doing psychology right now. I'm not gonna lie.
And you're into your academics, or you just...
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm into my academics. Yeah. Eventually I want to like go into like medicine and that, but right. So I do have to be into my academics to do that.
So the music's not even the long-term goal.
I mean, it's just whichever happens first, honestly.
Well, I think the music's happening first. I mean,
Dr.
your latest song,
Zafty.
latest song, Prophase, is already at 100,000 views on Spotify. That's awesome.
Raw.
Congratulations for that.
Yeah, that was wild to me, honestly. Like, it's like it hasn't even hit me for real. Like, I'm so grateful for that too, honestly.
We saw you posting on your Instagram. It was like, oh, 10K, thanks so much, guys. It's like 20K, and then you're like 50K, and then you hit 100K, and it was like, wow, this is happening in real time.
I'm just really grateful to anybody who listens, for real. So
it's awesome. We were bumping Superman the other night on Wednesday. We were just having a little meeting
while we're
before
preparing.
This.
Yeah, we did some inspiration.
We chucked on the album and
yeah. It's like more of a mixtape than like a thought out album, if that makes sense. It's just more of all the music that I was like making like around last year.
Would you have a lot of songs in the vault?
Oh, I have. No, because I make music like every day, or like I was making music every day, multiple times a day, because that's just, if I wasn't doing anything, that's what I'd be doing, if that makes sense. And I wasn't doing anything a little bit. So now it's like slowed down a little bit. Now it's like maybe I make something like once or twice, maybe 3 times a week, because I'm like just hard into studying right now. But yeah, the vault, hundreds of songs, bro. But the thing is also like quality control of like, yeah, there's a lot of songs, but like at that point they were good. Like at that point when I was making them, it were good. But like compared to the standards I'm holding them up to now, it's like some of them I probably wouldn't release that until I like worked on it heavy. But even then, like having a song that I want to release, but then I'm making new songs on top of that, that's probably better quality now because I'm better at what I'm doing now compared to then. Yeah, I've got like a massive backlog.
So when you're actually writing songs, do you normally listen to other music as inspiration? Because I hear some artists listen to absolutely no one else's music. Some artists listen to all this music they love for inspiration.
What happens when I feel like all my inspiration is probably like more subconscious, honestly, like when I'm making songs. Because like when I do make a song and then I'm listening to it and I can like imagine, like I know where subconsciously I got these inspirations from, if that makes sense. Like I'll make a song and then I'll be like, this kind of sounds like the way Pharrell raps, or this kind of sounds like the way this and this raps. Kind of like I can see the inspiration, but when I'm making it, I'm not thinking about anybody else but me, if that makes sense.
It's quite
like
natural,
yeah. Like a lot of the times I'll make something and then I'll message these guys and be like, yo, why does this low-key remind me of this? And like, oh wait, that inspiration, that like a specific line that I wrote, I know why I wrote it because of this. And yeah.
It's tricky because it frustrates me when you hear in the music industry that people are suing people, and because there's nothing's ever going to be, I feel nothing's ever going to be truly 100% original. There's always going to be some sort of artist in the past that they've drawn from. I mean, it's impossible to just, well, you could disagree with me, but it's about taking that and evolving it and kind of making your own sound from that. I mean,
I do. I agree with that to an extent, because I feel like a lot of the way I make music is probably inspired by what my parents were listening to when I was younger, and because like me personally, I think I've been involved with music and like just been around music for so long. So some of my songs, you could probably find some like old random ass Nigerian songs that probably have like maybe a kind of similar rhythm, but I wouldn't know it because like I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah,
and so it's like I feel like for every song, it's probably like just a derivative of a previous type of way that people made songs before. Like,
well said.
Well,
I think
I'm sure there is a deep origin story, and you don't have to fully go into it if you don't want to. But how long have you actually been making music for?
Like music with beats, probably like that only started in like year 7, but like making and writing like poems or like songs. Like I've been doing that since like year 4, honestly. Yeah, because like I used to, when I was bored, I'd have competitions with my sister about like who can make the better song, and then I'd get my mom to judge, and obviously I'd win. I'd win, obviously. Like
Yeah.
but
Flex,
yeah. So
flex.
when I've been bored, I feel like writing has been something that I just did naturally. If that makes sense. And then like I got into Justin Bieber after in like year 5 and 6. And then I started trying to write songs like him.
Life changing.
Yeah. I started trying to make love songs, but then I'd get in trouble for that. And then I remember
Trouble with who?
yeah, because my mom would be like, "Why are you talking about girls? You're like 10." Yeah. So
Man, let it happen, mum.
Yeah,
Fuck's sake.
she found my writing in my bag and she got mad at me for it. It was
Thinking about girls earlier than I was probably thinking about girls.
No, but it wasn't like even thinking about girls, like thinking about girls. It was like I hear Justin Bieber thinking about girls, so like raw. I guess I have to too. I guess like I've got to copy the formula now. So if Justin Bieber talks about baby, so do I. You know, that was my mindset. That was my mindset. And so I tried to write like him, and then I kind of stopped writing like after like no, I wouldn't say stop. It's just like it wasn't something I did until like year 7. I remember it wasn't. I wouldn't even consider this writing, but then I would like voice memos. Like I was doing my laundry and then I had my phone and then I started singing a random melody about my dogs and I was just it was like just their names though. It was I would just say it over and over again and I was like, no, it's lucky fire. Let me record this. But then the first actual song that I made, like the first actual song was it was in year 7 and then I had a crush on this girl, right? And I was like, okay, so I have this girl that I like, how am I gonna get her to notice me for?
Did you serenade her?
Oh, I love that. I love where this is going.
I formulated, I was like, okay, so obviously if Justin Bieber can do it, I can too. And so I was like, let me just make a song real quick. Let me just make a full song real quick. And then I sat down on the dining table when I got home and I was cooking and then I made it, right? And I showed it to one of her friends and I was like, this is fire, isn't it? because I was trying to like gauge opinions. And then she was like, if you don't sing this to her right now at recess, I'm gonna tell her you fuck with her. And
at recess as well.
Yeah,
man,
so I was fighting
crazy.
demons. I was like, okay, what do I do? So I like this girl, but also I had nothing planned. I had like the beat on my it was like a random ass trap beat, trap like romance, like love
trap
beat.
phone?
Yeah, it was like the background was a red withering rose, bro. It was actually corny. But
it couldn't wait till lunchtime.
no,
man.
couldn't.
You had to get
Yeah,
it
because
out
I didn't have my.
recess.
I didn't because in my head, I don't know why I just didn't let her tell a friend. I was like, okay, I've got to like muster up my courage, and so I literally went out. It was no backing track, no nothing. I just
Acapella. Fuck.
acapella the whole. So it was like
raw dogged.
I was looking at her, but like not looking at. I was looking at the ground, like in front of her. Yeah, because like. Bro, I was in like year 7. The 808, I didn't have the courage to stare her in the face while singing this corny ass song, and so the whole year 7 quad was like around us, and then everybody was like making a circle, and then I finished it.
So intense.
It was. I was like, and so basically I finished it, and then no reaction from everybody. It was like straight silence.
What
Like
did
straight,
she say?
They were shell shocked.
So I was like,
it's amazing.
What did she
I was
say?
like, what do you think? And she was like, that's sweet. I don't know. I was like, raw.
Origin, villain, origins.
Yeah, villain arc.
Head down, and I just walked away. And then she got with one of my friends like the day after.
Oh,
It was actually
not a friend anymore.
No. We still chill. But like thinking back on it, it was like it's more funny now than it was at the time. Because I remember at that point, I used to also like listen to Juice WRLD and shit, and so it was a spiral from there. So I got to know, so I started getting into
Inspired some dark music.
It's some dark brooding Juice WRLD. I literally, oh my goodness, I think I've showed Jack and Isaac some of them, but like I used to like try and replicate Juice style, and I would be like, nice guy, don't finish last, you know that song? I used to love that song too, and then I used to make like songs like that. And then it's honestly a dark past, bro. Like when I think about it, I cringe so hard. But I've been making music for a while, for a while. Kind of spiraled off topic, but
No, it's
That
good.
was
It's good.
unreal.
but yeah, like I've been making music. I feel like every time like I'm bored or I have like a goal that I can achieve through music, I'll just use it.
Well, has your
type
writing process changed over the years, or has it stayed pretty similar to how you started?
I don't really think it's changed. I think I've definitely gotten better at writing, if that makes sense. But like, what my process is, I'll like. There's two ways that it happens. Either I have like a line that I think about that I want to get to, or I'll be playing the beat until I get the starting one and build off it. If that makes sense, it's like I'm either building off the first line of the hook, or I've got like a topic or something that I really want to say, and I'm like, okay, how do I get there, basically? And that's basically like the process, and it has been the process, and I've just gotten better at linking that and building off that more and more, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I think just from that story, there's two things that stick out to me that I think lots of people would struggle to do and not want to do, and that's what would stop them from actually getting going and getting started. One is doing stuff like going and rapping in front of people, or like having that, you know, breaking the glass and not being afraid to do that, because it's so easy for other people to go, no, I'm gonna. The other thing is getting ideas down right there and then, like as you say with the voice memo. I don't know if you write or do just like type in notes, but if you're thinking of something, obviously that's never going to stay. Like you have to take some sort of, I don't know, you have to capture that at some point, like right then and there. So like you say with the voice memos, pulling that out, going, I'm going to record that. I think that's another important thing, because I'm trying to start a band with a few other people, and like we always have these ideas and then they just go away. We never record them, never write anything down.
I was actually rehearsing before.
We were
this.
rehearsing before, but we started to write stuff down, and it's just such a massive difference.
Yeah, I think talking about that, every time I do get ideas, I do write it down. Like I was in two weeks ago, actually, I was in a psych class, and I started writing something in my, instead of studying about, I don't know, behavior or sleep or whatever we were doing that lesson.
Nothing important.
Yeah, so I got a melody in my head, I started writing, and then like that is a dilemma. Like if you don't write it down, you're gonna forget it, and that's happened to me a lot of times. And so I made like a master plan, and I was like, Vince, can I go to the toilet real quick? And then I went to my locker, and then I just had my voice memos again, and I just like played it into the voice memos. But it was really annoying because there was like one of the there was like someone with a blow dryer drying the leaves in the background. So it's like I'm like, what, I'm not gonna tell him to like go away, or like I have to be back in class in like 2 minutes. So I just have to do it in the background. I don't know if they heard it in the background when I sent it to them, but yeah, I think I do when I do get ideas, I do write it down, or I write voice memo it, else I will forget it.
Well,
Yeah.
going back to your first point on the confidence is pretty important, because Perth in general, have you heard of the concept of tall poppy syndrome?
Yeah,
Perth has crazy tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, that's
so
definitely true.
whether it was us starting the podcast, or I've heard of other people starting things that are against the grain, or just trying to go and do something, for some reason, so many people who aren't doing anything themselves like to hate on other people to feel good about themselves. Have you found that?
Comes from a sense of insecurity, right? It's like there's a jealousy, and then it's like, well, what can I do if I can't do what they're doing? I can critique it and shut it down.
I think that's really true too, because I remember I've always been a very ambitious person. Like every time I start, I've done like a million different hobbies, but every time I start one, I'm like, okay, how do I become the very best I can at this? And I remember in year 7, I started basketball, right? And obviously, because of me, I was going around telling everybody, guys, you know what? I'm definitely going to be in the NBA. I was like 5'4", by the way. Like I was, I was not going to be in the NBA. But like, if that makes sense, like I had a dream, I had a goal, right? And then I'd tell people about it, or like people would find out about it.
Well, it's manifesting.
Yeah. And then it would, like, over the years, like I would try hard at it, blah, blah, blah. Like I'd put in the work, and then I remember everybody would, when you have that ambition and then you fail or have a setback, they won't fail to remind you that you had that ambition, if that makes sense. Like I remember like years after that, it'd be like people would walk around and be like, yo, Jack, what happened to making an NBA? Like people are very eager to put you down if you do try and be ambitious. And that happened with music too. Like I remember when I told people I was gonna make music, the amount of people who were like, ain't nobody want to listen to your shit ass music, Jack. Like that's like verbatim. That's verbatim, by the way.
Was
Like,
that in person or online?
in person? No,
Really?
that was in class. In class, like I remember, I used to try and get everybody to listen to my music, and you hear a lot of no's before you hear a yes, for sure. Especially as a creative or as an artist, like that can get to you, but you just have to pull through it. But yeah, I feel like now, even now, niggas still hate. Even now, niggas still hate. Like even now, I hear people be like, I'm not gonna listen to your music. I'm not gonna listen to your music, because I feel like I do try and share my music everywhere I can, and like if I maybe I do get annoying with it, but I do like try and share it, and you will hear a lot of people trying to put you down before they give you a chance. That like they won't even. It's to the point where they won't even listen to the music before they start hating. If that makes sense.
Spite, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like school's a really rough one. We were pretty lucky we started the podcast after school, but the school sort of environment for that would be rough.
Definitely, because you'd release my turnarounds weren't that long, if that makes sense. So I'd release new music, and then I'd be trying to get people to listen to them, and then if a song doesn't do well, they'll let you know that the song didn't do well, or like if they heard a line that they didn't like, they'll let you know that they heard it. Like people they get so happy to put you down, right? They get so happy about it, because it might be an insecurity thing.
So when that happens, how do you stay true to yourself and keep going?
I think I'm just very delusional, honestly, if that makes sense, because in my head like there's no way I don't achieve what I want to achieve, if that makes sense. So it's like all these setbacks are just gonna look better in the documentary. Like actually, like,
I love
like,
that.
like, what if people, like, if that makes sense.
I don't think that's well, you could say it's delusion, but I don't reckon.
Well, if you look at all the people at the top who have done that, they all have the same mindset. It's like all or nothing. I'm going to be the best I can be.
Yeah, you just don't let it. Me personally, I just don't let it get to me, because in my head, I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve. So them talking is just gonna look funnier when I do achieve it, if that makes sense.
And then you'll watch them switch up in the future.
Well, people already have switched up.
I was gonna say, now you got a song with 100K listens. What are people thinking now?
It's cool. Because the same people. It's always the same niggas. It's always the same niggas. Right? The same people who are talking the loudest. They're like, Jack, like, look, I've been thinking about like making music too. Like I've been thinking about. I've actually been writing some nice. They'll be like, oh, man, do you want to hop on my beat, bro? Like, do you like want to? Like, it's funny now, but I feel like it's more like sad than anything. Like, you could have just like, we could have been cool like 2 years ago when I was starting making music, if that makes sense. But instead of pushing your own creativity and embracing other people, you want to put them down because you feel like you wouldn't be able to achieve what they are trying to achieve, if that makes sense. Is what I see in a lot of people, and people do switch up. And I'm grateful for people liking my music, but when I've already tried to share, because I feel like my music has gone better as time has gone on, but I feel like there was a point where my music wasn't still good and wasn't ever as bad as they said, if that makes sense. So when they were hating on it, like, yeah, you like it now, but it was good before, and yeah, it is complicated feelings when people do switch up. It does get complicated.
How has joining Peacekeeper Records propelled your career into the future?
I was going to say,
we got a live
first of all, you're
today
on the Crooked Smile podcast, but second of all, is it great to find, good people that support you? We got Jack, we got Michaela and Isaac here. Behind the camera.
Behind the cameras, first audience today.
First live audience, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, they've propelled my music like so much, honestly. Because like their production, and it's more than just the production, even honestly, because they're really good producers. But I've worked with producers before, or like, well, not like worked with producers, but like, I'd be like on Instagram and be like, oh, can I like book a session in to record? Because when I was making it Come My Way and some of those other songs, it was like, I still use the YouTube beats, but like when I listen to a band, like, it's like, damn, if I just get the production up a little bit, like I'm sure this will. And so I would work with some producers, and you can tell when people care about the music, if that makes sense. If like they're not working with me just for what they can get out of it, if that makes sense. And so I feel like that's also helped my music get to the point it is, and just really talented people, honestly.
What's I know this is a bit of a change of tack, but what's spinning at the moment? What are you listening to at the moment? And then I guess what have you've already mentioned Justin Bieber as well, but those those CDs or whatever that your parents were listening to when you were growing up, what were they? What were those ones? What are your big inspirations there?
What I've been listening to right now, there's this like rap group, they're like French from like the 90s. I think they're called like Saiyan Super Crew. And like I don't even have no idea what they're saying in half of their raps, but like the way they hop on a track, it's just crazy. And also I've been listening to Kenny Mason quite a bit. I've been listening to Smino and Saba and Mavi. Like I listen to more recently. It's been more chiller type raps. But I honestly love all types of genre of music in general because I've also been getting into like more punk pop, like punk garage, like punk pop rock type shit. Like I think it's Mindless Self-Indulgence, Simple Plan, Yellow Card, all those type of niggas, like Blink-182. I've been getting into that alternate type of music that's not really like associated with rap, really. But like back in the day, music I used to listen to, my parents were like, I listen to a lot of Nigerian music because I am Nigerian, and I definitely think that's also influenced my music a lot because I love Nigerian music, but also they used to listen to like Christian rap, like Toby Mac and that. And then I remember listening in the car and be like, yeah, this fire, bro, this fire. My dad, he likes older type of music like Tupac and that, but my mom always got mad when he played that, so we didn't really listen to that much. Yeah.
But when recording music, do you find you have to get into a zone or you have to have a certain energy about, or you can pretty much just stop and record whenever?
I wouldn't say that I have to get into a zone because I feel like when I do make music, it's to get out of a place where I'm bored, if that makes sense. It's like I'm not like I get this energy and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to make music. It's more like, damn, I got nothing to do right now. Let me make some music. And then I get into that energy, if that makes sense.
Would you say because it's like that and it's more a passion thing as opposed to you see it as work that you've got to get done, but it's more I get to do this when I have nothing on? Does that make it better and easier to write and make music?
I mean, yeah, it's not even close to feeling like a job yet, if that makes sense. Because it's something I'd be doing regardless, like without being at the position I am right now, which I'm so grateful for. But I would be making music even if nobody was listening to it, for real. Like even if even if I was the only person who listened to the music, I don't think anything would have stopped me from making music because I do get some like fulfillment from like the post music feeling is crazy. Like the post writing down, sitting down, writing something that I like, that feeling is just amazing. But that is also something because of that feeling, I've got to step back from the music sometimes because you kind of get like a heart-shaped lens over your art sometimes, and then like a week later, I'm listening to it, I'm like, this shit's ass, bro. Like this is so bad.
Your
like,
own harshest critic, though.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But like, yeah.
When you're writing with, and is it Jack you do most of your stuff with?
Usually, I write by myself. You know, like I'm a bit, like when I'm writing, they will send me the beats, or sometimes I have written some stuff with them. But like when people's around, it's kind of like nerve-wracking when I'm writing with people around.
So you like to be alone when you write?
I like to be alone when I write because I feel like I've always been alone when I write. If that makes sense. So it's kind of weird.
Will you write songs without the beat, or you'll wait to get the beat first and write to the beat?
The problem with like. I do usually, most times, I'm going to be having the beat first because when I write without the beat, it's like when I rap, it's like you can sense when you listen to a beat where the spaces are for you to rap and how you should rap on it. And so when I write without a beat, I'm going to write this melody and I'm going to write this bar, but it won't like fit into the spaces that are in the beat that they might send me, if that makes sense. So it is just better to write on beats. Because transferring a rap from beat to beat can be hard, or it'll sound janky on a different beat.
And performance, I was doing the stalk through the Instagram stories and saw that you had a whole bunch of like big I don't know, underground sort of gigs. Like it looked like a pretty intense. I feel like a year or so ago, or was that more recent?
It was early this year. Those were really fun, but I was so scared, bro. Like my legs were shaking as I was going on there because I feel like it doesn't really get easier to get out and perform in front of people, and do my music in front of people, but I do think I've gotten better at managing it, managing the fear and turning that into something positive and being like, I'm hyped for this. Like I'll tell myself, like I'll comfort myself before I'm going up. But those were all fun experiences that I'm so grateful that I got to do. And I love performing. I love performing. I think I've been an outgoing performing type of person for as long as I can remember, honestly.
So is that something of kind of like you're out of your comfort zone, and because of that, you're growing as a person and you're able to really embrace it?
I definitely think so. Like, even though I do like performing my music to because I have my own expectations of myself when I'm performing, if that makes sense. And so it's more than just like, oh, these people are coming to listen to me. It's like, can I show these people the best version of my music, like right now, with the way I perform this right now? And so it's like, that does get nerve-wracking. And I do think that those experiences, I'm proud of myself for doing that, and I've learned and I have gotten better as a performer since then, because you learn stuff about yourself when you perform more.
Well, I feel like the crowd looked pretty, like they were getting around you. It looked like it was a pretty exciting experience, and I just wonder if that girl from year 7 was there in the crowd as well.
No, she wasn't.
It's like kind of like a skater boy thing. It's like, this is the skater boy now. Like you should have gone for it when you had the chance.
Nah, we're chill though. We're chill though.
Oh,
it's
you're still
just make me cringe when I think about myself in year 7. Bro. Like, oh my
That's
goodness,
the start though. That's the origin, man.
Yeah, there's the villain arc.
Yeah, bro.
Well, there's a crowd there, so that's performing in front of a crowd from year 7.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. In year 2, what is it? We had like a performance. It was
Skill play or something.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like party rocking or something that we were supposed to perform in year 2, and I got to play the guy with the afro or whatever.
Red fur.
Yeah, and I got that, and I got like a fake microphone, and I wore leopard pants. I think I have the photo on my phone, honestly. Yeah,
You can pop it up on the screen.
right. But like, I have been performing. Like I've been the first hand up if we're gonna do something like a play or something. Like I'd love acting too, and all that performance stuff. So I think that's just been something that's been sticking with me. Yeah.
Was that always a mindset, or you've had to grow that over time?
I feel like it's always been. I genuinely think it's always been a mindset, but that I still have had to grow. If that makes sense. Like I feel like year 2 we do Just Dance, and I wouldn't be scared to perform in front of like my friends in year 2. But like now with performing my music in front of people, it's different. But that doesn't mean I still have the same mindset. It's just that having to adapt to who you're performing for and what you're performing is something that I have had to work on as a person and as an artist.
Well, another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is the Perth music scene. Because
right.
it's so isolated from the rest of the world, Perth. It's the number one most isolated large city in the world. And does that bleed over into the music?
Honestly, I do think it bleeds over in the sense of me feeling like connecting with other artists is a little bit hard from Perth, if that makes sense. Like reaching out to people that I can't just like pull up and go meet, if that makes sense. Like people, because when you start something in Perth or start a creative like journey in Perth, and it's something that isn't already established in the scene, you're gonna be the only person doing it, and you're gonna be the best person doing it, and then that brings up like some pressure to it. And then when you see other people doing it in different cities that you'd love to connect to, it's like kind of hard to make those connections, because like I can't see these people. But also I feel like that hasn't stopped my music from reaching people, even if it isn't like the people I'm like set on that I want to meet them so bad, or I want to connect. I'm like so grateful for the people who have heard my music and have messaged me, and I have talked to from different parts of Australia and like the world. For real.
Well, because Perth's so isolated and there is tall poppy syndrome, do you find that all the musicians are pretty like-minded and you sort of band together because you've all kind of gone through that same thing?
Band together, nice.
I think there is for sure a sense of that. Like I feel like everybody in the Perth scene is so nice. Like everybody that I've met personally, they've been wonderful, and I do think they've probably experienced the exact same thing that I've experienced, and that does help me ask them, like be able to ask them for advice and stuff about like me releasing music, if I should release this or if I should just like not release a project or stuff like that.
I guess the audience is now, because of social media and the way that, Spotify, there's obviously your stuff probably listened to worldwide. I guess you can, while Perth is isolated, you can get your music out as easy as it ever has been. I can't imagine what it would have been like before trying to get started somewhere like Perth and you can only perform.
How good's Triple J been? Triple J
Yeah,
unearthed
Triple
and all
J.
of that to grow.
I think Triple J has been a wonderful opportunity to get my stuff heard by other people in Australia for sure. Like it has helped me. But also the thing is like Triple J is kind of a hit or miss for different artists, because I feel like there are artists who probably might make better music than me, but like maybe the person working on the website that day just glossed over their music and they feel like, oh, I must suck because nobody reviewed or listened to my shit. And like I remember being in that position and being like, oh, I've got one review and this guy who I think my music is better, I would tell myself, no, this guy's music is better than mine because they had more reviews or because they won a competition. And I feel like it does help for sure getting your music out there, but it isn't really the end all be all, because at the end of the day, it's just a couple people whose opinion on your music. And I feel like if you believe in your music and you believe in like what you're capable of, that can get you further than people's reviews, if that makes sense.
Yeah, getting your first review would be a pretty interesting sort of.
Well, you said your mum would have been the first person to give you reviews back in the day.
Oh yeah. My mom was my very first critic for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
You got to sing to your mum before
Harsh
you can
critic?
sing to
Harsh
anyone
critic?
else.
Oh yeah, she still gives me her opinions on my music for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Yes.
still rapping about girls and getting in trouble for it, or yeah.
Oh yeah. I definitely get in trouble.
What's your favorite Justin Bieber song from all that inspiration?
Oh wow.
Ooh, I feel like my favorite Justin Bieber song was "Love Yourself." I really liked "Love Yourself," and also like the one I listened to the most was "Baby." And I remember I like locked myself in the room until I remembered the rap version, because I was like, damn, I need to learn this right now. And so I genuinely got myself in my bedroom, and I was like, I'm not leaving here until I know the entire rap verse of "Baby." And I mean it worked because I do know it now, yeah. But like, yeah. "Baby" and "Love Yourself" would be my top two. Yeah.
What about when he hopped on, I think it was Travis Scott's album, Maria I'm Drunk, on Rodeo? And then he started rapping. Did that kind of inspire you to get into rapping a bit more? Or?
Nah, Justin Bieber didn't really inspire me for rap. That was more like Tyler, the Creator, and them, if that makes sense. Because I remember like year 8, year 9, I saw some interview he did, and he was talking about what is it? How when he was growing up, people ain't really fuck with like the same hobbies that he had, and then like he was getting made fun of, and I was looking at him, I'm like, you still look like you do the same hobbies now, and so I was like, oh, and I did more research to him, and then I got really inspired by his mindset, and I listened to his music, and I was like, oh, this is so sick, I want to make rap music, and then because I didn't really have much exposure to rap before then. It was like a little bit of like Tupac from my dad, right, and like Christian rap like Toby Mac, but like. My Apple Music was like, it was random, like some UK rap. There was like one UK rap song, and then it was like one Corday song, and it was like, what is it? Central Seas was like making music at that time, and I had one of his songs, and then the rest of it was like BTS and like The Greatest Showman and Panic at the Disco. So
Panic at the Disco is fire.
Yeah, that's good. That's good shit.
Yeah, because like the even like big people like Kendrick, I didn't really even know who they were until like 19, 20, 21, because I heard Kendrick for the first time on like NBA Live 18, because his song was one of those like back, it was either that or 2K, because his songs was one of the, like, you know when you load into the game and then it's playing, and so I was like, I loaded into NBA Live 18 and it's like, I got loyalty and summer, and I'm like, yo, why is this looking fire? I had no idea what the song was then.
Who is this up and coming artist?
Yeah,
Kendrick Lamar.
Fucking NBA Live really helping underground artists right now. That was my mindset. But like, yeah, it was definitely more American artists like Tyler and them who really got me into rap, not Justin Bieber. But I feel like Justin Bieber was like my favorite artist. It was Justin Bieber and Katy Perry. Yeah, raw.
Oh, did you see the MTV VMAs performance?
She's been in the media a lot lately.
Well, but she like they had the VMAs and they obviously get all the hot young, like Sabrina Carpenter comes on and it's so obvious that she's lip syncing. And Katy Perry goes out there is like doing like front flips, back flips, goes through like 10 songs in 10 minutes, singing live vocals the whole time, and you're like, wow, I don't think you appreciated that. Like we appreciated that in like 2012, 2013, but she had a historic run. Like she was just pumping out.
I saw the
hit
craziest
after
clip
hit
of
after
her.
hit.
She went on the Call Her Daddy podcast recently. I
Oh,
saw
did
the
she?
craziest clip of her speaking
About what? About what?
about what she needs from a man.
Yeah, she's been freaky on Call Her Daddy, man.
Orlando Bloom, poor guy. Anyway,
Legolas.
she's that. I love that you said that because she was huge at that time.
Yeah, I
Never
used to
forgets.
love Roar. I used to love Roar.
Yeah.
At daycare and that, I'd be singing, they're gonna hear me roar.
Yeah.
Like over and over
Performing at
again.
daycare.
Yeah, for myself, bro.
Well, have you listened to much J. Cole? He's pretty good at the storytelling.
I
rap.
do listen to J. Cole a lot, but like I feel like less now because he kind of fell off. J. Cole, don't diss me. After might delete later, and also I was kind of looking into like because I feel like
Delete Later wasn't great.
J. Cole's perspective as a rap, he comes off as intellectual and all that, you know what I mean? But I feel like he really fails to, live that out in real life compared to the music. Because he'll talk about all the stuff, but then he'll also say on Twitter that he doesn't read books and he doesn't really advocate for these causes he talks about in his music. And I think it's good that he talks about it in his music, but I feel like you kind of have to do you got to practice what you preach a little bit. And so I do like his music, but sometimes when I'm listening to his songs, and I'm like, yeah, he's spinning right now, and I'm like, but is this actually him right now? Type thing. But I love J. Cole. I love J. Cole.
So you're saying that for you in the future, you kind of want to increase your authenticity but with storytelling, but staying authentic.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like that's something that I value in the artists that I like to listen to. Like when I'm hearing what you're talking about, this is what you genuinely believe, and you would act on what you're saying right now for sure. I'm not really a big fan of cap rap, and I've hindered myself from cap rapping. Because sometimes I write something and I'm like, this ain't really me though. I
think that's important because that's how you can really grow a fan base that you'll never lose because you know that they're with you from when you were yourself. And as long as you always stay yourself, then they're never going to leave. Yeah,
I think community is very important. Like that's something I also value a lot. Like I do want to end up making a fan base that does value community and helping each other. And also one that's authentic to me, for sure.
And it's easier it would be easier if you keep doing that to ride on, right? And not, fall into cliche or feel like you're copying something else. If you are talking about, growing up in Perth and those sort of experiences that you had as a year 7. And
I do think I do get more fulfillment over writing a song where I know that this is me, and then rather than writing a song and I'm like, and people are saying, thank you, oh my goodness, this song's so good. But in the back of my head, I'd be thinking, yeah, but that isn't me for sure. So I feel like, that's why I do want to stick to authenticity for sure.
Well, I'll just talk about more of the timeline. So was it John Doe was the one that dropped and you were like, oh, hang on, people are really starting to listen now and you started to get lots of good feedback? Or was it before that? Like how long ago did you really start to get the ball rolling, I guess?
I feel like started with Come My Way, because I feel like I released that and then I feel like people started listening more, but then it was definitely John Doe that did get like the ball rolling, if that makes sense. Like from there it's just been crazy to see where I'm now, because I wouldn't even like now I'd be happy that like if you had asked me my goals for this year, last year, it would have been like to get maybe a couple songs to 3K streams.
Unreal.
Yeah, because I don't even know if I had any at 8K last year before. Because what is it? Come My Way took 3 months to hit. No, yes, Come My Way took 3 months to hit a K, and I was like, wow. I was so like, honestly, what I'm doing now is crazy to me.
But is that feeling? And here's some. We keep saying thought for food or food for thought. We keep getting it the wrong way around.
Food.
We keep saying thought for food and getting it the wrong way around.
I thought we were deliberately saying that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Thought for food.
My bad. But Here's some
There's a lot. There's
food for thought. When you got that first 1,000 listens and that feeling of thinking, oh, wow, this is 1,000 listens, this is huge. Is that feeling less or more or the same as when you've got 100,000, etc.?
Oh, great question.
Because I've heard a lot of people say that like that first 1,000 or that first, like for us, 100 subscribers on YouTube, that first 100 subscribers is going to feel better than 1,000 subscribers, 100,000, because it's all relative.
I feel like honestly, it was a mega big deal for me when I hit 100K. I was like, raw. I couldn't even like conceptualize. Like it was like I was like fighting demons to even think about how many
100,000 people lining up.
I was like, it is.
That's Optus
still-
Stadium times 2.
Yeah.
Still crazy to me, honestly. But I do think the first I probably did react bigger for the first like 100 monthly listeners, and I was like, oh my goodness, man, 100 people, yeah. But I do think I haven't stopped feeling ecstatic about getting this many people to listen to my music. But I do think it might have been more the first couple times. Yeah, for sure.
We've clearly got the ambition, Zafty versus the world. Where do you see the future for your rap if that is the pathway you end up choosing?
I feel like I want to reach a point where I do, like I said before, like have a community, but also to a point where I can sustain myself with music and I can be able to solely focus on the artistic aspect of music rather than, oh damn, I need to like get some food on the plate for real. Like let me just like put in this quick song out, if that makes sense. So I don't have to reach a point where I'm releasing songs that aren't really fulfilling just to get the ball rolling more.
Like Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
For sure. Like I wanna be able to get to a point where I can fully focus on the artistic aspect of making my art, for sure.
Do you reckon you could do it all from Perth, or eventually you'd have to?
I'm actually like for uni, I'm gonna probably move over to like Melbourne and that for pharmacy or biomed and all that. But I do feel like I'll always be Australian for sure. Like I was the same way that I feel like I'll always be Nigerian, but I feel like I will be moving around quite a bit, and I don't even know where in 5 years I'll be or where I will end up staying for sure.
I think it's interesting, this mix of, it's a good marketing opportunity, this mix of Dr. Zafty. It's kind of like he's in the lab, but he's also in the lab at the same time.
Doing an album cover
It's
of you
such
in
a
the
great,
lab.
it's such a wild, I don't think you'd hear too many other people that are doing that sort of thing. So lots of hard work, I can imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Balancing your
for
time.
sure.
Well, before we wrap up, talk a bit about Peacekeeper Records and how you kind of found them and joined.
Oh,
And they're allowed to jump in and talk.
And yeah, there's a fourth
if they want
mic
to.
for you, gents, if
If
you
they
want
want
to grab one.
to.
So basically, like on the Triple J website, I'm a Triple J fiend, bro. I'm on that. I'm on that every day, or like I was on that every day, like during school. Like if I'd have my computer up, like study period, and I'd be refreshing the website to see if not just if people have reviewed my music, but I'd also like try and find people who are my age doing the same thing because I feel like that's something I value a lot, like connecting with people who are also doing it. And so what I would do is every single time I'd find one, I'd like shoot them a Instagram DM. And what happened was I saw Benny on the website, Benison, and I shot him a DM about, damn, your music's crazy, bro. Like, who do you work with? Because at that point, I was still like PS4 headset band lab. I was like, how does your music sound so good, bro? Like, tell me your secrets real good. And then he was like, he told me he worked with Jack and Isaac, and I was like, say less. And so connected with them. Did you message me or did I message you?
You want a hot mic?
Message you.
Welcome.
Do you want me to film it, or are you happy with just the audio?
I'm happy. I don't really mind. I can just be like a mysterious voice, faceless. Yeah. So I'm Isaac. I do Peacekeeper with Jack. I'm a producer, and I think we would be comfortable to say that we kind of manage Zafty. And yeah, so I think you were in the yearbook. Hey, Triple J for Unearthed competition. I was in the yearbook.
My fit was so bad. The photo that they posted, bro, my fit was so bad.
So Triple J puts out like, it was, what are we, it's 2024 Unearthed we've just done. So it was the 2023 yearbook. Yeah, so we I think that's where we first checked you out, was Benny. Benny was in the Unearthed High yearbook for 2023. and then you got the most underrated flow award that same year. And we checked you out. And I remember messaging you saying, we were in the city, we're trying to go walk and get something for Benny, but I remember sending you a voice message saying, come around, let's get something going. And then Jack and I ended up sending a few beats to you. And
John Doe.
Yeah, John Doe
one of those beats was the John Doe beat that Jack made years ago. I don't know if you want to jump in and talk about that beat, but within... Yeah, Jack had an old beat and we just sent it to Jack among 3 others. And then within I think it was an hour. 30 minutes to an hour.
Already writing.
You email us back, you go, I love that one beat, and then you send us back the BandLab demo of John Doe, which was like written start to finish, like no changes needed to lyrics, no changes needed to structure. We're like, all right, we're recording this, we're putting it out.
Yeah, I was already writing, but I was like failing my writing. Bro. I had like one line, and that was I've been talking with passion. So some lines.
Yeah, that's right. Use it from another song. Hey?
Yeah. I was trying to make a song at that point when they sent me the demos, but it wasn't like it wasn't working, and so they sent me that, and I was like, oh, bro, and I started writing immediately, and then it just worked on the John Doe beat, and then it's just been
we just kept working. Hey,
sure.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Sometimes it gels. Sometimes things just...
That's right. I think it's also a case of figuring out how everyone best works. As Jack mentioned, he finds beats and he's got pretty I don't want to say like selective taste, but like you know what you like. And I feel like that you have a clear vision of your brand and the kind of stuff that you do work on, and you like kind of don't miss. If he hears a beat and he's like, I'm going to work on this, like he works on it. Do you know what I mean? And so we've kind of let him do his thing, and then just help where we can. And he's a friggin' beast.
Well, I'm very excited to see what comes in the future, and hopefully, I know you're talking about doing the med, but I really hope you do stick with the music at least while you're doing it, because I love listening to your music, man. It's awesome, and it's awesome to see someone local, someone in Perth who's really doing well and is really making great music.
Well, I've been meaning to also, because I listen to lots of older stuff and stuff of people that aren't from here, and I've been meaning to get into, someone that I can really get behind. Because I know back in the day, when bands were coming up, when my parents were probably growing up, there's bands coming up, and they're like, oh yeah, we used to go see Nick Cave in like Northbridge, or we used to see, In Excess would be playing at the Subi Hotel, and it's like, oh, what the fuck, that's crazy. So it'd be good to...
Well, this could be a bit controversial, but I hate Australian accents in rap. Like it just it irks me listening to the Australian
Hilltop Hoods are really upset right
now. I'm not a big fan of it, but you don't have like the like g'day you mate Aussie accent, and
I don't really have an Australian accent.
So that's why I really don't like a lot or many Australian rappers, but I really like your rap because your accent is not like the kind of the Hilltop Hoodie. It sounds like a worse version of drill.
Hilltop Hoods does.
Or just Australian Aussie accents for rap is like a worse version of drill. And I know a lot of people might disagree, but
no, that's probably right.
Yeah, I think my accent's, I don't know. I don't even know where it comes from.
It's hybrid.
Just a hybrid of all the places that I've been and the people I'm around for real.
But no, it's awesome. Thanks very much for coming on, man. Really appreciate your time. Massive shout out to you, your music, Peacekeeper Records for coming and being a supportive audience.
Thanks for coming along.
We'll leave everything in the description for everyone that's still listening to go check out. And please do, because it is worth your time. But Jack, thanks so much for coming on.
Of course. Had a wonderful time.
And I can never ever. If you get lost, I press the rewind so you don't see nine. No, I can tell that you a winner. I'm making key lime cause I was living in the backseat till you begged me. All my niggas never playing games like we bad street. When she talking, feel like poetry in motion. And I feel like I'm chosen. When she look at me, I'm getting lost up in that ocean. Everywhere in motion. They ain't got a notion. I wanna tell them where I ain't never been.